What is up, Nerfherders? We are back. Seth Jones here with my best old sidekick slash dynamic duo partner, Gerald Glaza. It is time for the Endgame review, and it is spoiler-filled. I do not want to do non-spoiler reviews for movies. I think, like, if you know you're going to go and see the movie and you want to see a review...
I think there's so many people, especially this movie right here, that have avoided social media and everything else.
Yeah.
That by the time they see us, they've gonna already seen it.
I hope so. Like, and if you're watching our channel, you're gonna want to see this movie anyway. I mean, this is the biggest Marvel event.
Yeah. Well,
ever.
Pretty much everybody that I know almost is, by the time this airs, have already seen it at least once.
Hopefully, I mean, we're definitely
shattering records.
Yeah, we're definitely going back for a second viewing.
Yes.
Very soon. But before we kick things off, we want to let you guys know a few things. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. We were very busy. I'm still very busy because I'm moving, so
yes,
that's gonna make things kind of hectic for a little bit. So that's kind of why the streams have slowed down. But some good news. This video, and we want to give a big thank you for our sponsor, O Comic Con, or OCon, as it will be called this year.
Yes.
This is the what'd you say? This was the
fifth year.
Fifth year of OCon. This will be his third year attending, my second year attending. We had a great time last year.
Yeah, actually, no, I think it's actually this will be my fourth year.
Your fourth year.
Yeah.
We had a great time last year as a part of Spotlight,
yes,
doing our content there. This year we are going as both Spotlight and Nerfherders representatives.
Gonna be a completely different ball game because we're gonna have a booth. We're gonna be doing photos, video, interviews.
All kinds of stuff, like
mingling with everybody, having people stop by the booth to do different things. We've got some ideas that we're gonna.
A lot of stuff that we can't talk about.
Right. That's why I said ideas.
Ideas. But I felt you, like me, wanting to kind of continue on from there, but we probably shouldn't either.
That will be no spoilers.
That will be no
Everything
spoilers.
else is spoilers so from here on out.
The OCon this year is going to be June 28th, 29th, and the 30th at Mid-America Center in Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is just over the bridge, even though it's Omaha Comic Con. Never mind. We will be in attendance. We have a booth. We'll be there. We'll be there to visit with you guys. Anybody who's local, definitely stop by.
Or if
we want to hang out.
Come on in.
If not, we'll be making videos there. So if you can't make it out to OCon because you're across the country or something like that, it's not really an excuse, but come out anyway. But we'll have videos up for you. So thank you to our sponsor. Now, as we said, this video is spoiler-filled.
Last chance.
Spoilers ahead.
Are going to happen.
This is your last warning. If you haven't seen the video, if you haven't seen the movie, click off. Go. Please,
click off and go watch it.
Don't even look at the comments because there's going to be spoiler discussion in the comments. So just do yourself a favor. Go and watch the movie. We'll be here when you get back.
It's only 3 hours.
It's only 3 hours. Start a good liquid embargo. Start a liquid embargo for your body a couple hours before you go. Don't drink anything until you get in there, or maybe even after the first hour.
Unless you've had severe training.
Your military training kicked in.
It did. Like, I was sitting there slurping and slurping and stuff, and Seth's over there like...
Dehydrated.
Just kidding. He didn't even pay attention because he was so enthralled.
I was like right up. I was in. I mean, if I could have like had my elbows up on there, I would have been just kind of like eyes glued to the screen, but I couldn't pull that off. Absolutely excellent experience.
Amazing. Like, hands down, like I know that we're going to do another discussion in the future with ranking the Marvel movies in our opinion. I'm going to put it out there, number one, hands down.
And it's even tougher to rank because Infinity War and Endgame are essentially the same movie. Like there's not enough time to have it like really like take away from each other. So they both,
they're almost one.
Yeah. So Infinity War and Endgame are kind of both tied for first for me.
Right, but like with Endgame, I feel that it was what a lot of people wanted Civil War to be, with the airport fight scene and stuff like that, where
like
people
a lot
felt
of
robbed.
comic book excitement.
Right, because in the Civil War comic, like, it's everybody and their mamas going at it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
With the Civil War, and then they have the one in the movie, and it's just kind of meh. And But
it's still a pretty epic moment.
Yeah.
Still a very epic moment in Civil War, but it doesn't even come close. I don't know who that is. Phone just decided to ring. And there goes again. This is why I always have a rule to silence our phone.
Silence your phone, everybody. And
that's gonna bite me.
better him than me though, because
I found Endgame more emotionally satisfying. To watch as far as the battles, the stuff that occurs. I'm talking like there's no spoil. Fucking Cap holds Mjolnir.
Yeah.
He finally lifts the hammer.
And like you see that happening.
And that was the moment where it just
it ties back to when they're having the party
in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Moves it just a little bit.
And Thor's like, oh, and then
I knew it.
And then he's just like, oh, and not only does he hold it, but he just freaking wields it like.
Oh, he's been observing
Thor like he.
I mean, it holds true to the incantation that Odin speaks on. It is like, whomsoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Oh, yeah.
And he possessed the power of Thor. He was throwing lightning. He was whirling it around.
And
hammer and shield action was perfect.
Like I know it's still fresh in my mind, and it's gonna be the greatest ever. And silence your phone. But it's gonna be I just can't get over how just epic the battle scenes were. And then like Cap, I mean, obviously Cap is my personal favorite Marvel character. And so for me, I was just like and still in that same fight, what the hell is Thanos' sword made out of that it could shatter that shield? Oh yeah, like Cap shield. And
he really took a beating and still managed to get up
and then
just throwing it back on.
And tighten it, and he held it for reinforcements.
We got a lot of very satisfying moments in that battle.
So none,
and Cap picking up Mjolnir is still kind of second place to seeing everybody come back through the Doctor Strange portal.
Through the portals and stuff, and it's like the first couple happen, and you see Black Panther, and then you see over here.
It was even better because you got
and then
Falcon.
They just keep freaking coming. It's like, oh my goodness. And then it's like, they're bringing everybody.
You saw sorcerers.
Yes.
You saw Ravagers. You saw from the Guardians series. You saw Wakandans. Like everybody showed up to this battle. Pepper shows up in her suit.
Oh, that
was crazy. And they hinted at it early on in the movie in kind of a cheeky way, but then you see it and it's just glorious. But they open it up in the perfect way. Hey Cap, on your left.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes. And
perfect.
Then
there's so many callbacks to the old
almost
movies.
Felt Cap getting ready to say, "I can do this all day."
Yeah, and the one time you actually
beat so hard.
The one time you actually hear that is like the perfect time too, because like right after he gets into a fight with himself, I could do this all day. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's like, I know. This is what it sounds like.
That is America's ass.
I'm kicking my ass. Oh,
that is America's ass.
Yes.
Oh man, and some of the humor did kind of fall flat for me a little bit in some places, but that was one of the best.
Yes.
And those pants just don't do your ass any favors. Like, don't listen to him, Cap. That's America's ass.
Yes, and then taking the moment to, after he kicked his own ass, to.
We could talk about what we like all day.
And,
I mean, the fans. There's so much fan service, but there had to be. It's their last go around for this phase. I don't know what they would do to ever match up with this, but. If they do, I mean, they're probably going to take like 10 years of building.
Well, I think that's their game plan is that they're going to keep continuing. And, like, I'm excited, like, as much as I love the Infinity Stone, and I think they're calling it the Infinity Saga for the last 22 movies, is known as the Infinity Saga. That's awesome. But I'm stoked to see where they go with the Skrulls and...
If they go down that road, I mean,
I feel that they did traditional Marvel with putting it in with Captain Marvel and setting it, And I don't know if you've read the Secret Invasion comics and stuff.
Not recently, no.
But I'm freaking. Those are some of my favorites to sit there and all of those tie-ins with the Secret Invasion, and then you have the Dark Reign, and you have all of that
real good.
after that, and just like whoa, and they used it to kind of correct some stuff and here and there, but now that Disney has Fox and you can bring in the Fantastic Four, you like
hopefully get them right this time.
Yes.
Really hopefully get them right this time.
Have so many just to bring it all back together. And I feel that's where they're going to go. And
yeah. I mean, things are going to get very cosmic from here, I think. Like, there's going to be a lot more stuff that is off Earth.
Well, yeah.
There's going to be a lot more otherworldly stuff. Now that they've kind of warmed us up to that.
The Eternals is one of the
Eternals. Adam Warlock was teased at the end of Guardians 2. I was kind of hoping to see him in this one.
Right.
To have him be... Because he's a very big player in Infinity War in the comic series. He's a major player.
Yes.
I thought that we would see something like the Soul region. I thought we would see inside the Soul Stone. Didn't see any of that.
No.
That, like, because the movie was so long and we had only seen stuff from the living hero's perspective in the trailers, I was hoping to see the other characters kind of going through their own struggle, be like, how can we get back? And Adam Warlock is there guiding them to try and find his way through that.
Right, but I think in the movies they kind of weren't going.
Yeah, they didn't introduce them in time to get that all going.
And I think that would have been, and that's one of the reasons why comic books work so well is because you can write and draw whatever you want.
Yeah.
And to try to...
And there's so many timelines in the Marvel universe. There's so universes.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many. And I think this is, even in this canon, like, this line of the movies is considered an alternate timeline from the canon to the comics still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like it's...
And they've created a bunch more with all the time travel that they did here now, too. Because, I mean, you had Loki get away from the original timeline.
Very, very good point. Where'd he disappear to?
Yeah.
And...
stuff that I didn't like... well, why don't you go first? Was there something that you didn't like?
Quite honestly, I don't have too much negative to really say. I might piggyback off of you.
You could nitpick the hell out of the movie if you really wanted to.
You could, but I mean, again, it's really going to be, in my opinion, I feel that with all of the hype that was behind this movie, having to wait a year because...
Or 10.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean...
Or 10.
For after the snap, because, like, after Infinity War and it just ends, you're like...
I want more.
Yeah, knowing that... And it was a year to the... Almost a year to the day, because my Facebook reminded me that we went and saw Infinity War today, a year ago. But it's one of those where seeing everything and then knowing that it's the climax of the last 10 years of Marvel movies and 22 of them, and that just so much riding on it and so much hype that I didn't let myself get too built up for it, in the fact that I didn't want to be disappointed with if they didn't. But I feel that the way they started it, the way they moved it, the 3 hours didn't feel like it was 3 hours. It didn't really have any downtime too much.
It just in the first act is really where it was slow.
Right.
After that,
I think really about like the whole Ronin storyline with Hawkeye, which I get with losing his family, and he goes off and just starts killing every bad guy that he can get his hands on.
It was an interesting reasoning too.
Right, but I also feel that had they not had that part, it probably wouldn't have broke the movie.
Probably not.
That it was kind of one of those, okay, well, this is what Ronin's been up to, and
yeah, and Black Widow really didn't have to do much to convince him to jump back in. Like,
no.
It was a great line. Like, it was a great interaction. It certainly didn't need to be there though.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me hope. Like,
right.
That, like, while pretty much breaking down. That was a great. It was a great.
I mean, it was
scene,
great, emotional, and it got you, and it wasn't like it being in the movie that it was unnecessary, but it was also one of those where they probably could have done without it, and because they really didn't. I mean, aside from just avenging his family for disappearing with the snap and him just losing it.
Well, so the reason that was in there is actually to build off of the reason that one of the things that I didn't like, and that was how they handled Black Widow. I literally feel like they just threw her character away.
Yeah.
There was not enough impact built in for her because like she's never gotten her own movie. She's had her personal struggles, but very little has been tapped into.
She's been a very underused character the whole 10 years. And starting out as an assistant with Tony Stark.
But to have her character in the beginning, after the 5-year jump, showing her like running the Avengers,
right?
I was like, good, yeah, let's see how that goes. Like Steve is heartbroken, and he was a fugitive for so long. Like he doesn't have that trust there or anything like that.
Well, I mean, and like, the fact that he went and I feel picked up Sam.
Helping people with the PTSD of everything, and a cameo,
right?
Helping set up one of the Russo brothers cameos.
Right.
But the way they killed her off, spoiler alert, she dies, and not in a way that could be reversed. Like they teased the romance scene between her and Bruce so many different times, like different times. Why wasn't it those two who had to go out and seek the Soul Stone? Like why didn't they get their moment together? Right,
because they had teased Hawkeye and Black Widow earlier, but then Hawkeye has a wife and kids, and so
and the impact isn't there because like
it's a friend and a battle buddy type of friendship and everything, as opposed to with Bruce it would have been the love, and
I felt very much like it would have been way more compelling because Hawkeye saving Nat, like where was the impact there? Like he was just doing it because he cares about her. Bruce had so many more reasons to want to be the one to die.
Or even if they would have put Cap in that position.
Yeah, but they also could have put it in, like, I mean, it could also have been explained away that Bruce wouldn't die like Hulk wouldn't die from falling from that distance or something like that. Like, but that could have been fixed. Like that could have been fixed with just a simple, different way of sacrificing somebody to the Soul Stone. But like, I just feel like I didn't feel Black Widow's death quite as hard as I would have wanted to.
Right.
And because of the way that, like, because of the little bit of time that she actually got in the film.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to set it up great. Like, they were going to really make us connect to her as the new leader of the Avengers, like the new person taking over. And then the second thing that I didn't like, mainly because he's my favorite character, was Fat Thor.
I personally freaking thought that was awesome, and the fact that on so many levels that it's in a lot of ways what would have really happened to somebody that has
but he's a god,
right? Like, I will admit I thought we were gonna see him have like this little montage of him going and doing some Rocky Balboa workout or something and getting.
I don't think that they needed to. I don't think that they needed to do that. They could have just shown the depression side instead. Like the depression, the PTSD, they could have shown that. Like he could have been dark. He could have been angry. Like, get the hell away from me. Don't bother. But they decided to go, all right, I'm fat. I'm not unhappy. You're unhappy.
Right.
And then like they turned him into way too much of a punchline in this movie when there's plenty of comic relief already.
But I mean, at the same time though, is that I think that they did it well in the fact that they did keep him as obese Thor, and he still kicked ass. And when he comes back, he's not going to be.
He did okay.
I want that action figure though. I cannot wait for for the Lebowski Thor.
Yeah, that just they turned him into too much of a punchline for me, which they were teetering on it in Thor Ragnarok already.
Yeah.
Because he starts off as such a serious character. He's got a hard tone shift into Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite character. Like, they weren't my favorite movies, but he was my favorite character. And then in Infinity War, very much like I felt like they got his tone right. There was enough humor in there, but there was
Right.
also enough seriousness
They cut his
to
hair.
where to work him in. And then in this one, they just went, instead of having that balance between seriousness and comic relief, they went hard into comic relief. Just turned
Well,
into a
that
punchline.
leads to a good point, though, too, of what future movies may be, is that we see him get on.
He's with the
ship.
Asgardians of the
He's-
galaxy.
Right. That basically, well, he's, and the thing in the comics with the Guardians of the Galaxy is that lineup changed all the
Oh
time.
yeah, it's filled with different characters.
Right. And it's one of those where Guardians of the Galaxy, I read the comics before they were cool. And a lot of people didn't even.
A lot of us did.
Like when Guardians of the Galaxy got announced to have their own movie and stuff, and people are like, "Who?" And that's why I think that Star-Lord line in the first Guardians of the Galaxy is like, "I'm Star-Lord." Who? Why I think that's hilarious, because so many people were like, "Who the heck are the Guardians of the Galaxy?" And then
now Thor's one of them.
right? And now everybody's like, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy is awesome," and this and that. And
Guardians 3 is going to be amazing because Thor's going to be there, and like,
right. And
if they don't do it, it's nutty.
right, and I think that will be he'll be able to atone, and you could see where he was getting himself back when he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, you're in charge. I'm not in charge."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
But again, like almost too much punchline.
Yeah.
And then in the serious part of the movie, I was where it was supposed to be uplifting. Like, all right, the sacrifice has been made. Like we discussed spoilers. I don't want to go over the entire movie because
Right.
like I want to go and see it again.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about this movie again during our podcast, where we will be episode 1. We are going to be ranking the Marvel films as we enjoyed them.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
This was number 1.
This one's number 1. It's this movie is ultimately gratifying.
Yes.
The stuff that I didn't like doesn't even compare to the stuff that I did like. The ending battle, seeing Spider-Man come back, crying my eyes out.
Right. Scarlet Witch, which was my son's, I think that got the biggest reaction from him, was when Scarlet Witch
That
came
and
back.
the Fortnite scene.
And the Fortnite scene.
Fortnite
yeah,
scene.
he saw Fortnite and he's like, "Oh." And
Spider-Man riding on a Pegasus with
Pegasus
Valkyrie. Like,
and being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And what
introducing himself to everybody.
Right.
Hi,
And then-
I'm Spider-Man.
and then
I'm Peter Parker.
when he what was it he said when all of a sudden he just basically berserked out when he commanded instant kill mode. And he's like, and his
I got
eyes
this,
turn
I got
red,
this, I don't
and
got
he's
this.
just going, and he's like, basically, you take it. Yeah, he's holding the Infinity Gauntlet, which that right there was pretty slick when Iron Man just sat there and basically took it, wiped it right out.
And that we'll have some discussions there because like Doctor Strange played a part there to some degree.
Oh yeah, well you could see it. You saw it when he came back, and
well, I'm gonna close out with this here.
actually, I want to sit there and say my biggest disappointment with the movie, thinking about it, was the freaking end scene. That there was no
end credit scene.
no end credit scene,
Yeah.
and it was a sound. Like
I guarantee that was just Iron Man hitting the anvil like as like another homage
Right.
to what started the MCU. That's what ends it.
right, but to not have, like, I was expecting something. And
Something's crying outside.
yes, if you hear that, that is not us. We did that last night during the movie.
Crying's over. The tears are gone.
Yes, but there was tears of sadness and joy, and just overall satisfied. Now go ahead and what you're.
Well, I'm gonna close out by saying that we will discuss this movie further in our podcast.
Yes.
It'll be audio only. We won't do video for it. If you want something to listen to on a long commute or just kind of like kill some time throughout the day, we'll be talking comics. We'll be talking pop culture. We'll be talking gaming news, pop culture news, whatever comes to mind and whatever's relevant to us when we're decide to get around to recording.
We're gonna throw it out there that we've got, I think probably at least 2, maybe 3 podcasts that we're going to be putting out.
And we've got a trailer reaction. We've got a couple trailer reactions coming up. We've got, I haven't watched it yet, but we've got Swamp Thing to react to.
Yeah, I haven't watched that trailer yet, but I've been following the DC Universe shows, and I'm a huge fan of.
Yep.
And being Marvel as my primary choice, if I had to choose between the two, DC is with their DC Universe shows, Titans, Doom Patrol.
Good directions.
Very good.
Good directions.
And
So we'll be reacting to Swamp Thing. Also, the latest Godzilla trailer by request. We've gotten a request to watch a Godzilla trailer, and that was before this one actually got released. So we didn't watch this one.
We have not watched this one.
We were gonna react to Dark Phoenix, but we saw that trailer when we went in to see Endgame.
Yes.
So we've already seen Dark Phoenix, so there is why you won't be seeing a Dark Phoenix reaction. But I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about the X-Men franchise during a podcast episode.
Oh yeah, we definitely
Jump on
will.
that.
And the upcoming things with being Disney, which spoiler alert, I am now owned by Disney. No, I'm just kidding. Almost.
Nerfherders is now owned by Disney in its entirety. But yeah, so before we run out of time, because I think our camera's going to shut off here soon.
Just kidding about being owned by Disney.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Ocon. June 28th, 29th, and the 30th. Pick up your day passes. You can go to oconexpo.com to grab your tickets, grab your VIP passes, whatever you're going to get.
It's over at Mid-America Center in
Mid-America
Council Bluffs,
Center.
Iowa.
Catch up with us. We'll have a booth. Look for Spotlight Omaha / Nerfherders. I don't know what banner we'll have up. It'll probably be both.
Right.
To some degree.
And in River's Edge Production.
And in all three, one spot. Come out, pay us a visit, and we'll see you guys later. Go and see the movie. Go see Endgame.
Spoilers!
Oh. Almost did it with the wrong hand.
Yes.
I was close. Saved it.